الآن متحدثنا القادم هو السيد أحمد حسين بوكلة، رئيس لجنة أمن الطيران لإقليم آسيا والباسيفيك في مجلس المطارات العالمي، عضو في لجنة أمن المطار بمطار الشارقة الدولي، مدير عام العمليات في قسم أمن الطيران، ضابط اتصال بين الهيئة العامة للطيران المدني بدولة الإمارات وكافة الجهات الأمنية العاملة هناك، كما أنه عضو في لجنة أمن الطيران والتسهيلات بالهيئة العامة للطيران المدني بدولة الإمارات الشقيقة. أدعو الآن السيد أحمد حسن بوكلة لإلقاء كلمته.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السادة الحضور، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسرني في البداية أن أتقدم لكم جميعاً بخالص التحية والتقدير، وأشكر السادة القائمين على تنظيم هذا المؤتمر الهام من الهيئة العامة للطيران المدني بالمملكة العربية السعودية الشقيقة على دعوتي للحضور والمشاركة في هذا الحدث الكبير، ممثلاً عن اللجنة الأمنية الإقليمية لآسيا والباسيفيك، المجلس العالمي للمطارات. وأنتهز هذه الفرصة لأنقل لكم تحيات دائرة الطيران المدني بإمارة الشارقة بدولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة، وتمنياتها لكم بنجاح المؤتمر ودوام التوفيق والسداد. First of all, I'd like to thank the General Authority of Civil Aviation of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to invite me to speak at this conference. Today, I'm speaking as the chair of the ACI Pacific Regional Aviation Security Committee. Today, I would like to speak in two topics. First, one-stop security, and second, the harmonization of aviation security measures. But before I start, I will make a short introduction to Airport Council International. ACI is a trade association of airport operators created in 1991. It has more than 500 members operating more than 1,700 airports around the world. Its prime purpose is to represent common interests of airports at international meetings and to promote the cooperation and sharing of best practice between airports. ACI is a permanent observer at ICAO. It regularly participates in AFSEC panel meetings as well as the other ICAO meetings such as those of the Aerodrome Panel and Committee of Aviation Environment Protection. Now, speaking on one-stop security, a series of the attempted terrorist attacks on civil aviation since 9/11 have prompted authorities to instigate stopgap measures at passengers and carry-on luggage screening points in airports. For example, the prohibition of small sharps since 2001 and the restriction on the carriage of liquid, gel, and aerosols in carry-on luggage, enforced in many countries since early 2007. The proliferation of such measures, often applied on existing layers of security, has made security screening an increasingly onerous financial and operational burden on airports. According to the ACI's annual airport economy survey, airports spend 14.5% of their operating costs on security in 2001, up from 11% in 2009. It is generally agreed that the financial and operational sustainability of the bolting on new measures on existing ones in the long term is questionable, given that global air passenger traffic will double in next 20 years, as forecast by ACI. There is also a general consensus that the only way to make aviation security sustainable is adopt new approach that is based on security risks, outcomes, and that minimize duplication of screening. To date, most states apply screening on transfer passenger and baggage, originating from other states, resulting in a significant amount of the redundant screening. Redundant screening increase, thank you, shukran. Screening increase operating costs and sometimes causes flight delays and baggage to miss connections. ACI supports one-stop security, which by eliminating the need of redundant security checks at airport transfer point could expedite the flow of transfer passenger and baggage to their onward destinations. The ICAO High-Level Security Conference concluded last September encouraged states to arrange one-stop security with each other. ACI includes a ICAO declaration and pledges support in the implementation of one-stop security in the Middle East region. It is commonly recognized that implementation one-stop security challenge, for example, in terms of infrastructures and reaching agreement on common security standards between states. But progressive approach to one-stop security is feasible at least between GCC countries, where a framework of cooperation in legislation already exists. In the long term, it would be possible that GCC countries implement one-stop security models on the arrangement between some of the Schengen states of Europe. Now, I'd like to talk about the harmonization of security measures. While one-stop security is aimed at eliminating the redundant screening for transfer passengers, the harmonization of security measures would make these measures easier to understand and remember for the traveling public. They improving complaints in the first place, minimizing conflicts between security personnel and the passenger at the security screening point, and finally, enhancing screening throughput and efficiency. The harmonization of prohibited item list would be a low-hanging fruit to start with. For example, quick review of the pills of a number of states in Asia reveals that some inconsistencies in the maximum length of scissors blade allowed. It's also interesting to note that tennis rackets are allowed in some states, but not in the others. ACI would like to all states to harmonize aviation security measures as much as possible on the basis that security outcome would not be compromised. We believe that the harmonization of prohibited item list is a low-hanging fruit to start with. It is also a prerequisite of one-stop security. ACI would be willing to assist states in the harmonization of security measures, for example, by identifying potential areas of harmonization. In conclusion, implementing one-stop security is a challenge, but it is not invisible. It will further enhance the competitiveness of the airlines and airports in the Middle East region. And it would be a good idea to start in the regional level, for example, among us GCC countries. Secondly, harmonization of security measures would not only be a good way to improve customers' experience at the screening point, but also a prerequisite for one-stop security. Thank you very much for your kind attention.